Good morning, Mr. Brown.
Morning, Mr. Ellis. How are you?
Fine and you?
I'm very well, thank you.
I'm just calling in response to the proposals I sent you a few days ago.
Yes, yeah, I've got those here in front of me.
Have you managed to go through them?
Yes, I have, yeah.
Okay, so would you like to go through them now and so we can finalize what needs to be done?
Yes, please, I'd really like that. Get this out of the way.
Okay. So let's start with proposal 1.
Yeah, no problem.
The first thing we have here is rent computers from a second-hand store. How do you feel about that?
I do like the idea of having like low prices and everything like that, but I think renting computers would be a bit much. But in terms of having like keeping the prices low, I do like that. So maybe that could be an option.
Okay. Following that, buying all software needed for the project.
Yeah, I suppose I'm tempted about owning all the software for maybe future purposes.
Alright.
But I think buying all the software would be really expensive, and I don't think I want to add on any more prices. Any
Okay.
more like cash, yeah.
Okay, let me just write that down.
Yeah, no problem.
Okay. Next, we're gonna find more local sponsors. Are you fine with that?
I don't want to be known with any local companies here. I would like to keep it all within my own sort of company. I don't want any sponsors.
Okay, that's fine.
Yeah.
We for the building of the project, we can use 2 or more contractors on one part of the project.
I like the idea of that as well, but I'm just worried about if it's going to be expensive. But yeah, if it's not too expensive, I think that's the best idea to go with. Someone to buy online.
Okay, that's fine. Next up, if you want, you can find and pay an online designer that you might like, or are you wanting us to find the person?
It's definitely a tough one. I think to keep it local and to maybe find someone here that will do the job would be best. But if there is a very good online designer or programmer, that would be ideal as well, I suppose.
All right. Sorry about the bells. They're doing fire drills.
Yeah, it's no problem.
So lastly, for this proposal, if there's a tester you want, you can find and for checking the app, or is it?
Yes.
Are you wanting us to find the tester?
I think it would be best if you find the tester
Okay.
to test the app to make sure that everything is running well and like very good and everything like that.
Okay. Let me just take down these notes.
Yeah, it's no problem.
Okay. So I'm assuming proposal 1 is a maybe right now.
It does seem like it was one of the ones I've liked the most. So I think it's just definitely a maybe at the moment.
Okay.
Just keep going through them.
Proposal 2. So let's get into it. We can get employees to bring in their own personal computers instead of renting them. Is that something you would want to do?
I think that would cause a lot of hassles with the employees and everything like that, bringing in their own computers because that's not part of their job. But I do like the idea of having not to spend any money, like where it's sort of like that. But I think it'll definitely start to be a hassle. So I think we'll leave that one out.
Okay, great.
Yeah.
Next, we can buy the weekly software rental packages instead of monthly, or are you wanting to do one solid month?
I think I don't particularly like this idea either. just the bill will just keep rising and rising and rising.
Okay.
I think the weekly software rental packages will probably end up costing a fortune, which I'm not keen on spending that amount of money. The monthly does sound a bit better though, but yeah, I'm not too keen on that idea. So I think that one we leave out that one as well because I don't want to keep spending more and more money.
Okay, no, that's fine. Let me just note this down.
Okay.
So next up, we can use your current sponsor with a local sponsor. Are you able to do that? Because seeming that you don't really want a local sponsor, do you mind having them together or?
I suppose that would be okay, but I don't want to get involved with any local sponsors.
Okay,
I
that's
think
fine.
keeping it abroad will be better.
That's
But
understandable. I
in the
agree.
long term, I think if they can work well together, then that would be okay. I suppose.
Yeah, I agree too.
Yeah.
Don't worry. Next up, use a contractor who can do both the designing and the programming. So that's basically one
Yeah.
person for these two jobs.
I think that's probably one of the ideas I like the best.
Alright.
Having two people, having one person do the amount of two people's work and everything. I think that's really good, but only if he can manage the work. I
Okay.
think splitting the work in between maybe two programming and designers would be the best.
Okay.
Yeah, but I like the idea the most though.
That's fine. So lastly for this proposal, we can get you to go through the app and see if it's working and if you like the feel of it. Or are you wanting to actually bring in a tester?
Yeah, this was quite a tough one, I think. But I think bringing in a professional tester would be the best.
Okay.
Probably like to limit the risk of anything going missing, or maybe if I make a mistake and cause something to go wrong. I think
Okay.
bringing in a proper tester would be better.
Okay, no problem. Let me just not jot that down. Okay, great. So what's your thoughts on proposal 2? Yes, no, maybe.
I think I think I like proposal 1 better than proposal 2. So I think
So
proposal 2 is
so it's a
probably
no.
like a no go. Yeah,
Okay, no worries.
we'll cancel that one out.
Okay, so let's move on.
Yeah.
Proposal 3. On the first point, we can buy half of the computers needed,
Yeah.
and we can rent the rest. How are you feeling about that?
I don't think I want to rent or buy any computers. The costing in the long term would be quite substantial. I think
Okay.
if we were to do this idea, I think only renting possibly be the only way.
Okay, no, that's fine. So next up, we can buy the software needed and keep it on the computers owned for the project. But since you're not wanting to buy it, I'm guessing
Yeah.
that's out.
Yeah, I don't want that at all. Yeah.
Okay, that's out. Thirdly, you can have no sponsors, and we can just purely concentrate on advertising the app. Instead of
Uh,
having sponsors on one of the pages, we can just have your company's information. Would you
yeah.
rather do that?
Yeah, I think advertising the GoFish app would be much better than having sponsors. Because we can get like much more. We can advertise the app a lot more to lots of people, and it'll just increase people's knowledge about fish and the app and everything like that.
All right.
So I think that'll be best instead of having a sponsor.
Okay, no problems.
Yeah.
Just write that down. Next up, we can use a beginner contractor to do the design and the programming to try keep prices low.
That does sound like a good idea. Using a beginner contractor to keep prices low. The only problem is that if we can find a good beginner who knows what he's doing, or she knows what he's doing, but I think what's better is to find someone who's been doing this for a long time, has lots of job experience, and don't want to risk the quality of the app. Want to keep the quality of the app really good.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah.
Just want to do it once,
Yeah.
not three times
a once
over.
off job. Yeah.
Okay, great. So, experienced. There we go. Lastly, for this proposal, we can hire a separate contractor to do the testing for the app. How do you feel about that?
Yeah, I like that idea a lot.
Okay.
And it definitely keeps the idea within a few people, so not the idea can't get spread out, and also keeps apps safe and everything like that, and testing will be done well.
Okay, great. Okay, so thoughts on proposal 3? Yes, no, or maybe?
I suppose, I think, I definitely like proposal 3 is getting there. I think proposal 4 is the one I'm really looking for, since I've had a read through them already.
Okay.
Proposal 4 is probably the best, with a few ideas from proposal 3 and proposal 1.
Okay.
I mean, proposal 2, yeah.
Okay, no worries. So let's go through the proposal 4 then.
Yeah.
We can rent computers from an online site and try and have them delivered to us, and then once we're finished, they can come receive it again.
I suppose once again on renting the computer, I don't think that's the way forward. But it does sound easier and possibly cheaper. But I suppose I don't think it's the way forward on this app.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's fine. Rent software from at different intervals, so we can try to keep costs down. So we only have the software when we need the software.
Yeah, I suppose. That sounds cheaper. But I think hiring someone online, like an Upwork-based programmer, like you said on point number 4, I think that's the way forward.
Okay.
I definitely like that idea.
Sure. Let me just quickly write that down. On the sponsor side, I know you haven't been too interested in having one, but we can still try and get that sponsor you mentioned to us last time we had a Skype call. Instead of looking for a local one, we can just continue with the one that you really asked for.
Yeah, if we can get an original sponsor, like the ones that I did ask for the other time, I think that would be best. As I said before, I don't really want to hunt for any local sponsors or anything like that.
Okay, great.
Yeah.
I'll try and get in contact with them then.
Yeah.
So for the programming and designing phase, we can use an Upwork contractor, which they are very reliable.
Mm.
Have you used them, or do you know what they're like?
I have heard of them before on Upwork sites, and I know that some of my friends have used them in the past as well. Not to design apps, but to design other things for them. And I hear that they're very reliable. So it'll definitely make things easier.
So you're keen to use Upwork?
Yeah. I
Okay.
like the idea of using an online person.
That's fine.
Also, even though it is an hourly rate, you can keep track of their work and see how they're doing, which is definitely what I like about Upwork.
Okay, cool. Let's continue. There's only a few more things left.
Yeah.
We can use a separate Upwork designer to do the design phase. So we separate the programming designers with 2 different contractors.
Yeah, that's what I suggested just a little bit ago.
Yeah.
I think having 2 different people, so a designer and a programmer, doing different things, and maybe programming and designing the app at the same time, would just save us time, and it would really relieve stress on. So to have 2 people sharing the work instead of 1 person doing all of the work.
Okay.
Yeah.
That works
I
for
like
us.
that idea the most.
And lastly, we can use one of our employees to do the testing phase. Would that be fine with you?
I suppose if we can do it, okay, then yes. But I would prefer to have an external person do it, so someone professional from overseas or something like that to hire and test the app as well. So there's no biased natures going around.
Yeah, that's understandable.
Yeah.
So proposal 4, is that a go?
Yeah,
Or
I think so. Yeah. Proposal 4 would be probably the best, with a few ideas from the other proposal. I think we should hopefully summarize those in the next Skype call. But I think proposal 4 was the best, the one
Okay.
that I like the most.
Okay, I'm glad to hear because it is also our favorite one as well.
Yeah.
Much easier, much better quality of work that we can do
Yeah,
with that.
yeah, definitely.
So, thanks for calling. I'll get back to you with the next results.
Okay. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Enjoy your day.
You too.